This is so sick. It's like something the bloody Mayans have built or something. Welcome back to the wild west coast of Tasmania. Join me as we dive into the remarkable history of the Osmiridium miners and explore the ruins of their settlement on the 19-mile creek. It was the end of the 19th century, and gold prospectors on Tasmania's west coast were finding this strange white metal. It was a natural alloy of osmium and iridium, named Osmiridium, and with no market for it, it was considered a nuisance. But one man who held on to it was Irishman James McGinty, who is rumoured to have lost 2 jars full somewhere on the banks of the Savage River. A long-time prospector, McGinty holds the record for Tasmania's largest gold nugget, found in 1883 and weighing in at 7.5 kilograms. In 1910, a market developed for osmiridium. McGinty started a rush in the upper Savage River at a point 19 miles from Waratah. This creek was subsequently named 19-Mile Creek, and it wasn't long before its watercourse was filled with claims and a small settlement was established. Most men who did well at the game had their own veggie patches to supplement the high prices paid for packers walking food into the remote field. The usual method for working the rich alluvial floodplains was to divert the watercourse either through tunnels in the river's bend or through channels built from the overburden of the bedrock. Afterwards, the bedrock would be blasted with gelignite, and as the old-timers used to say, panning off would occur, processing the wash down to the very last material, pure osmiridium. Like all good things, eventually the creek was worked out and the miners set off for the next big show. And with the absence of humans, Mother Nature quickly began to reclaim her field. But the echoes of Flea Flat can still be visited, a short distance from the main road to Corinna. You know, about 19 miles from Waratah. It was a cool and frosty morning when Levi and I set out to visit the old workings. Following the advice of Tasmanian legend Winston Nichols, we soon found the blue tape, which had us heading in the right direction. Well, this certainly makes life a hell of a lot easier. Yeah, I should mention this trip was inspired by Winston Nichols. He's got some awesome videos about heaps of old relics that are around in Tassie. He's done a lot of bushwalking and exploring, so check out his channel if you like this type of stuff. He's the one who marked all of this track that actually leads down to 19 Mile. So after this video, head along and search Winston Nichols, because he's got some gold exploring in Tassie. Within minutes of entering the track, we could feel the power and presence of the old timers, the forest gracing us with its mystical lure. So we really are trying to get down to 19 Mile Creek, but just walking through this forest is like blowing our minds from the sun and the fog coming through. So it's like one hand with the phone and one hand with the GoPro, and too much going on. Look at that little rainbow in there. Yeah. I don't recall a time I've ever entered a forest and not felt at least some of that joy and childlike wonder. They definitely have some sort of unseen powers that human beings need. Amazing. Alright, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we're trying to get down to 19 Mile Creek. Must be halfway by now. Oh, look at it up there. This is just mind-blowing. So you spend a few weeks out of the bush, and then when you come back to it, you're just greeted with this type of amazing scenery. And it says, "Why did you ever leave me?" It's not very often you can just stop the car, walk for 2 minutes and you're just in this Jurassic world. Actually, if you're in Tassie, it's very often. Yeah, I love that moss. It's cool. So we're just about to start dropping down to the creek now from this ridge. And oh yeah, there's a little bit of blue tape down there. It's been amazingly clear the whole way across it. And I reckon that's going to change pretty soon.
It'll get lower, it'll get worse.
Yep. See all the man ferns. Hopefully that's can stay clear. Starting to get a bit steeper as we drop down to the famous 19-mile richest Osmiridium creek in Tasmania. Is there any left? What can beat it? Creek-wise, Adams River. That's a river though. Bloody hell, that's steep.
Steep, isn't it?
How the hell are we going to get down that? Well, there's a bit of tape there.
Roll, mate, like we always do.
Well, we slide generally. We don't have the wetties on. I can see a bit of water over there.
It might go down to the right a bit.
You freaking hope so.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any abseiling gear.
It's funny because the topography once again isn't this steep for the last bit.
Nah. Tas maps and topography is like a bit of a guideline at best. That's the grade we're working down. Nuts. Oh! He's down. Oh, there's some bedrock down there, mate.
Beautiful bedrock.
Oh! 19-mile creek. That's some bloody awesome bedrock. Some good pockets in there too.
Oh, there is. How much of this did they rip up? Just about all of it, probably. We could drink that.
It looks alright.
There's enough flow in it.
We'll head downstream first and check out the old tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that mess there.
Yeah, go for the diversion tunnel.
Yep. It's only about 500 meters down here. We've got the diversion tunnel that the old timers actually dug through a hairpin bend in the creek to divert the water through so they could work the alluvial gravels on the outside of the bend and recover a heap of osmiridium. You can see the bedrock's quite flat and runs all the way across from one side to the other, so it was just a matter of removing the overburden, and then you can get down to where the bedrock is, and that's where the treasure's hidden. Yeah, a bit like that.
Talking about moving overburden.
So that'd be a nice little pocket to pan or detect. It's beautiful in the way that it's quite navigatable. Yeah, I think it's inevitable, mate. You just go like this, get the job done. Alright, no more complaining. This looks like the same as the rocky bedrock.
Yeah. Look how it's all vertical too. Good
Yeah.
angle.
Yep, perfectly 90 degreed up, isn't it?
There's a wire across down there.
Oh yeah. What do you reckon that's for? Old log boom.
Wow, that's one.
Is it?
Yep. That's gnarly. So you come here over here, you can see the light coming down the side.
Oh wow, yep. So if these logs weren't here, you'd be able to see this little, it's more or less an adit that runs all the way through this curve and ends up on the other side. So they would have worked all of this area here. This is sick fun in here.
years.
So this was a company who actually cut these ones, isn't it? Cut the diversion tunnels.
I think so. There was a lot of blokes working down here, and they would have all been working for smaller companies.
Would have been a crap job just doing the diversion tunnel.
Yeah.
Just see if I can get a light on. There we go. So yeah, they've cut through this bedrock from one end of the creek to the other to divert this stream.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's amazing that after all these years, over 100 years, this is still in the same condition.
It's a good solid run. You walk through that safely because you've got good air both sides.
Yeah.
We don't need the spiders.
Yeah, freaky. A lot of dust in here. See that line there?
Okay.
See that line?
Yeah.
Someone's done it.
No. Just a low pressure behind that big rock.
You think? It looks like a wall. Sand ferns. 6 meters high, maybe.
Loving that sun coming over there.
Oh mate, look at that bedrock. Look at these cracks. You can't tell me there's nothing in between those V's.
Yeah.
This is my sniping ground, I'm claiming this. Don't you dare work it.
That's your claim.
Look at it. Look at all the little V's.
Shame you got to go back to work tomorrow.
Oh, you bastard. Looks like another one over here, Levi. Levi's just pointed out the first of the rock stacking. It looks kind of man-made here on the side. A very small one. I think we're going to get into some Indiana Jones looking stuff pretty soon when we hit Flea Flats. Here he comes. Get a photo of him. Where's this coming? That looks so sick. Looking through this giant crevice in the earth. We started seeing a heap of these little rock walls as we make our way up to Flea Flat. They're everywhere, like a giant maze of ruins. Must have been a real sight to see when they were in operation, and there probably wouldn't have been a single bush in any of this area. Just a maze of water diversions, different channels. Oh wow, look at this. 3 streams up here, all coming from different leads. Insane. That's incredible. This is so sick. It's like something the bloody Mayans have built or something. Look at that.
It's like people put this in their gardens, eh? Like,
yeah. It's unreal. It'd be so cool to have a map of all the networks and how it all kind of works.
the little system they had.
Because they're not shallow streams, like they're quite, the walls are so deep, or over 1 metre high, and they just follow the course all the way. You've got trees growing right in the middle of it, but the structure of the walls have just stayed. That's how well built they were. That's so awesome. Everywhere you go, there's more of them, dried up ones. So much work. Must be close to some hut sites now.
Yeah, well, his hut's supposed to be here somewhere.
Is it?
On the edge of this bank somewhere.
There is a decent cutout here. I mean, this
Yeah.
could have potentially been one.
That could be Joe Hancock's hut right here. What's left of it? Nothing.
And he had
Just a cutout.
he had a heap of gardens like up the back behind the hut on the hills, which when there was no vegetation you could see in the photographs, but now it's just like a jungle. There's a local historian, Nick Haygarth, who wrote a book on Tasmania's Osmiridium rush, which I highly recommend. Inside the book, incredible images are shown capturing 19 Mile Creek in its prime. You can see the familiar rock walls here just below the record nugget holder James McGinty's hut. Levi's gone looking. Work-ins. It's kind of really hard to believe that this is just sitting out in the middle of a rainforest, perfectly preserved. Like it's a freaking island.
Yeah.
That they made.
It hasn't moved, so.
Little boat in the middle. Why would they do this, you know?
I think they were just having fun with it.
It seems like it. They had too much time on their hands. Yeah. Not enough work and too much gardening. You see here what they backfilled it with, all the smaller stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing. Just found the tip. Old bottle dump. There's some good bottles here, actually. It's McGinty's Osmiridium jar, mate. It's loaded with Aussie nuggets. We found it.
Found McGinty's Osmiridium jar.
Look how preserved they are. Just like
good ones.
Haven't even been
Not even taken by the bush yet.
haven't even been pulled out and examined. Like they're just left.
Shouldn't. Yeah. That one's good.
Nah, the old timers would have knocked back.
Aussie in her. That looks like it'd hold Aussie.
Yeah, that's the type of jar I imagine McGinty had. 2 jars full of Osmiridium somewhere on the banks of the Savage. Or was it here? Could have been here. What an amazing little hidden treasures. Just over at the bottle stash. They're stacked up.
There's a rectangular shaft there. Rock stacked there. Not a hut.
Could be. There's bottles around here.
That one's good. Tasma.
Yeah, they love that Tasma stuff.
Tasmanian bottle company.
I reckon that there had to have been another hut here as well. There's some diversions down there. I mean, this is high enough so it's out of the way.
Yeah.
Check out that forest though.
Yeah, nice and open.
It's very rare that you see it like that. I reckon this hill here was probably the veggie patch.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nice and open, got sunlight coming in too.
Yeah, north facing.
Grow.
There would have been
And most
nothing.
of that timber's new. It'd be good 40, 50 years old.
Magic spot.
Mm.
Alright, better try and find a way out of here. So we just had a drink from the creek and I'm pretty sure this is the knoll that we leave from. So we got the semi-long walk out, but it will be enjoyable. Back to the car. And that's this trip done and dusted. Pretty awesome day out. Saw a lot. Had a blast actually. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a like for me and a comment and all that good stuff. And I've got some more vids coming up very soon. Take care, folks. Oh wow.
Full on foot track.
Levi's just found the foot track out of here, which was pretty well where it was meant to be, but I weren't expecting it to be this good. Look at how that curves around.
Down and down to the creek, I guess.
There's no tape on this either. Interesting. That's cool.